back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well and I hope you're all having a good week. To any of you new subscribers here, my name's Hazel and I live in a house on the edge of a woodland in Wales. I'm rebuilding my garden, which it belongs to an elderly gentleman who was 97 years old when he died, and all he had was trees and shrubs. And I'm building a garden that I can use where I can grow food, grow flowers, grow fruit trees, and grow some beautiful plants. So if you're new here, that is why I'm here. That is what I'm doing. And as you can see from the title and my headdress and my outfit, I am also doing a wartime challenge. Now, I know things have fell by the wayside lately, and I've been dealing with an awful lot, and I just thought at the beginning of the video today I'd just share a little bit of what's been going on, because there are a lot of new subscribers here and have probably been coming along thinking that they're going to be getting wartime videos every week, and things haven't been as they appeared on my channel. I have done a lot of wartime stuff in previous videos. If you are interested, I'll pop them in the I button up here for you. But the last few months I've been dealing with a severe rapeseed oil allergy, and it has really set me back a lot. I started with it in February, struggling with chronic fatigue and anaphylactic shocks. Now, to any of you who have a peanut allergy or know of someone with a peanut allergy, you know how dangerous that can be and how life-threatening that can be. And it had set me back an awful lot. And mentally, I was dealing with a lot of mental challenges about it as well, because when the doctor tells you that the next mouthful could kill you, that is an awful lot to deal with. So I have been a bit sort of off beam, a bit off colour, and I've not really been in the right headspace because I've had such a lot of brain fog with the allergies. Sorry, I'm just checking on the dog. I've not been in the right headspace to do my usual content and to get on with my usual videos. But I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling more my usual self, and I'm now doing a juice and smoothie detox for the next 100 days. Hopefully, if all goes according to plan. I'm up to day 10 already. I have been I've been recording, can't say that word. I've been recording videos for my other channel that I do have. I'll pop a link in the description bar below. It's called UK Preppers at the moment, but I'm thinking of changing the title. And I'm putting that on there because I don't want to clog this channel up with all sorts of stuff that isn't for this channel, isn't to do with my wartime challenge, and isn't to do with gardening. So if you're interested in standalone videos and things like that, then do pop over there. As I say, the link's in the description bar below. And when I do videos and things like that, where there's recipes, I will pop the full video in a standalone video on that channel in case you're interested in seeing the full video, because it makes videos far too long when I'm doing recipes and when I record the whole recipe. So I'll pop that on the other channel for you. So if you're interested, do pop over there. As I say, link in the description bar below. And yeah, that's what I've been up to. So at the moment it's looking more like late summer, sort of September going into August going into September. And we are only just at the end of July. Today is the 30th of July. And yeah, it just looks more like it's going into September at the moment. I think we're about 6 weeks ahead here on the season. The trees are changing colour. And I did a lovely walk the other day. I did a lovely walk the other day and I found some lovely autumn mushrooms and some lovely autumn leaves, an awful lot of leaf fall. So yeah, I've been getting on with my tax return as well, which is why you haven't seen much of me. I had to have my tax return in by the end of July because the tax office had requested it. And yeah, because I've had so much going on with my health, I had a whole year's worth of receipts and accounts to do. And I've been ploughing my way through it all for over a week. It took me yesterday from 7 o'clock in the morning until about 4:30 in the afternoon, working solid, no break, no lunch, no nothing, just working all the way through just to get my tax return done. But I've done it. I've phoned the figures through. You see, I had to phone them through. I couldn't do it online. And the deadline's tomorrow. So, of course, last minute Annie here had to get everything done in time for the end of the month. So that's done, phoned it all through. I can take a sigh of relief now and get on with the rest of my life. So I'm not going to let things get into a mess like they did this time. I'm just going to make sure I manage to keep on top of things and get things done. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look around. I'm going to show you what I've been up to at the back of the chickens and show you how that's getting on. I've done some video footage which I'll pop in a minute of what I've been up to, and we'll go up there and we'll see where we're up to, and we'll have a look at that fence and see about putting that fence back, because with it being such a beautiful day today, I thought I could take the old fence down, the metal one at the back of the garden, and get that moved down to the back of the chickens and get that organised, and get on with the chickens house this week. So they're the jobs. I need to also check around the back of the woodshed this week and see what was going on with the rats on the yard, because I have a feeling there was a hole in the wall at the back there and I need to get round and sort that out. So they're the jobs for this video today. I am recording a roses video for you for the weekend. It'll be an end of July roses video, garden video with the roses in, because as I say, I've lost the footage of all the roses that I videoed. I had all lovely footage. If I can find the photographs, I'll pop the photographs in and maybe do a voiceover for you. But that'll be in the next video on Sunday. But today's video, we're doing a general worky video. I like to do it so that in the week you have a work video, on the weekend you have a relaxing video. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go and put Stripe to bed, charge my phone up a little bit, and then we'll go and get on in the garden and I'll show you the jobs that I've got to get up to. So I'll see you in a minute. Acting as if butter wouldn't melt, aren't you girls? In hot weather they're drinking an awful lot of water, so I need to make sure I keep on top of that. They're still eating the eggs. Here's Daisy and Pippa, Stripes away so they can safely come out for a few minutes. That's Gertie, and that one there's Grace. She's feeling a lot better. I'm still having my eggs eaten by this little monkey here called Gertie. And I think Grace has started eating them as well. Now, I've no idea why they're doing it, but they need to start being able to get out a bit more. Now, one of the jobs I've got to do this week is this place. But that isn't going to be in this video. That's going to be in next Wednesday's video. But it is going to get done this week. What I want to do is, as I've said before, I want to move all this, turn it all around, build them a new house, build them a new perch area here, possibly put a swing in, build a climbing thing here with food and things like that on that they can get to, and move their feeders around. I'm thinking of popping their feeders on that one, and then on this one here it'll have different perches on and it'll have different hanging things on to keep them busy and keep them occupied in the winter. Down here as well is also going to be a chicken tunnel coming out here, going along there underneath the hedge, and then down the path towards the house. So that's going to give them plenty to do. There is also a hatch at the back, which I'm thinking of opening up to take them round to the secret garden bit around the back, which is what we're going to now. Here's Grace. Missed my Grace cuddles lately. We've not had many cuddles lately. She's just had a tasty slug and Pippa was trying to pinch it. She had a bit of an eye infection, I think, with all the dust in her run. But she's looking a lot better, a lot happier. So say hello to Grace. Hello, Grace. Isn't she lovely? She's the only one, you know, who really lets me pick her up and give her a cuddle. She's quite happy when she's getting a cuddle. Aren't you, Grace? But the others are far too feisty to catch. You see, I can hold her and cuddle her with just one hand and talk to you at the same time, and she's very happy. They're happy when the dog's not around, when Stripe isn't about, be it herding them up. and being a bully. He's not good enough yet to be around them when they're out of the run. He chases birds and I'm worried about him attacking them because he has bitten Pippa's bum once. So, yeah. But she's a happy bird. Let's put her down. Nope. Right. I need to go and find my hack because I haven't seen it for a while. I need the pickaxe and I need some gloves and I need my secateurs so I can cut down all that bramble behind you. There's just such a lot in here, you know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do first. I think I need to get the bramble out first. Let me just turn you around. Behind me here, there's a big patch of bramble just in that dark corner there. So I think if I can get that out first, I can then start putting the fence post back, and that'll be a job well done. I can at least disconnect the fence from the top of the garden and bring that down here and get that in place. I've got another piece just here to the side of you. So I might put some against the wall as a trellis for my clematis to grow up and put something else that's climbing on there as well. I don't want to encourage the rats. So, yeah, so I'm going to go and get my bits and then I can get on with the clearing and get this job done. Excuse the noise, but living in the countryside isn't very quiet. I've got the chickens making a raucous noise and the farmer's doing the hay cutting down the bottom field. So I've just come up to see the chickens and show you round the back of the polytunnel. Oh, just found a toy Stripe had lost. Right, now this is the secret garden bit that I've been working on. Now this is a few days later from the little bit I've just shown you, and as you can see I've done a lot of clearing, an awful lot of clearing. All those bricks there are for the barn and they up the back of the garden for a project I've got to go on there, and they're going to be to build a new fireplace in there so I can have either an open fire or a wood burning stove in there, because I'm going to convert it into a shed to use for my floor looms and my crafts. So that's what that pile of bricks is for there. These are the fruit trees that I brought earlier in the season, the ones that we had a look at. Oh, I'll pop the video in the I button for you. But I don't know whether you remember, but I bought yellow plum, which is a dwarf variety. I've got another one of these somewhere, but I can't find it. I've got a damson. I bought a quince. This one's a golden gauge, so I've got that one. I've got a medlar as well, which is this one. And I've got also a quince. Now these are all dwarf. They're not going to grow any more than 2.5 meters tall, but that's going to add a nice bit of a screen to that part of the garden there. This one here is a field apple. I'm going to leave it because that's going to grow taller. And I've also got a silver birch, which I'm also going to leave. Now I've moved the pergola down and I've decided I'm going to take all the fancy bits off and it's just going to be flat wood. So this curved edge is going to come off, and on the top pieces it's also got like a curvy bit. All that's going to come off, going to be painted again, and it's going to be put back up. And this is the area where it's going to go. Now my husband came round here the other day and he said, oh, this will make a lovely secret garden. So that's what it's going to be. I'm thinking of putting the greenhouse in there, and then when I'm at the patio area I can go in and out to my plants and I can use that for any tender plants that are going to be down this end of the garden, and I think that'll work really well. There is a laurel there, over there, just there. I'm thinking of leaving that, but I haven't decided yet. I may grow that into a bush and then keep that hedge trimmed, and we'll get the greenery in the winter, but also it won't get too big, because I do want to do something with this end of the garden, and it's going to be a woodland walk that comes from the arch just there that takes me to the gate to go out into the field, and then this area here is all going to be shrubs and trees. There's an azalea here, there's azaleas in there, rhododendron there, there's rhododendron there. I've done the back of my shed now, so all that perspex that was lying around has now been used on the back of the shed. I've still got to fix that hole there, which is where the blackbird was nesting earlier in the season. And as you can see, look, autumn already. Now, I did have some fruit on these, but the birds must have had them. But have you seen what's happened? This is due to all the rain that we've been having. I've got it on everything, literally every single thing. Roses, fruit, bushes, trees, it's all gone like this. And I just think it's just acid rain, to be honest with you. That's just altering how the plants are growing. Also being in compost for so long, because they've been there probably since February. So when I've done the fence, which this is where the fence is going along here, they're going to go in on this side of the fence, and the other side of the fence is going to be for the woodland garden. So that's how it's going to work. This here is one of the pieces of fence. It's an old Victorian fence. It did used to be here, and when I was going to build the polytunnel, I took it out, and yeah, sorry, microphone wasn't working, and I was going to build the polytunnel. I put it up the top of the garden, and still not working. I put it up the top of the garden, and now it's going to go back here. So yeah, this here is going to be attached to the back here, and then it's going to come all the way along here and go right into the corner there. I might put another piece across there, haven't decided, but yeah, that's where it's going to go back. Now here I'm going to be putting shrubs, and I'm also going to be putting flowers as well, and flowers along here somehow. This side of the wall here, which is the back of the shed, Gordon did have a clematis here, and it was a beautiful purple one, so that's going to go back here. I have bought one. I just need to clear all this, put some soil in, and tie this back up. But the first thing I need to do before I can do that is that roof, because I'm going to do a living roof up there with plants on to try and slow the water down a little bit, to stop it all running down the garden. So lots to do, plenty to do. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing the fence along here, bashing the fence posts in, and I'm going to do that while Stripe's in bed, because he's in bed now for an hour and a half. So this is where the fence is at the moment, and one of the reasons why I'm moving it is because I need to do the fence posts again for it to fit properly, because some of the fence posts aren't in the right place for the fence. So what I've decided to do is just looking a mess, and it's driving me nuts, absolutely nuts. So what I've decided to do is, all this fence is all going to come out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, one in the porch, and one over there, that's 5, that's 6, and the one down the bottom, that's 7. So there's plenty to use, and what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to do a picket fence, and I've moved all the wood, and all the wood now is in here waiting to be used. I won't show you in there simply because that's coming in another video. So yeah, this is all going to be sorted out, all going to be tidied up. On the other side of the fence there is a spirea and hydrangeas, and it's just a walk of spirea and hydrangeas along there so I can see them from the house. But that's another project, that's something that needs sorting out, because that's driving me nuts as well. So the first job I've got to do is unscrew these fences, put them where they're going to go roughly, and then put the fence post in, and as I do it, screw them back onto the fence post so each one will fit properly where it's supposed to go. Have you seen this beautiful penstemon? Isn't it beautiful? This is one from Morrison's. Gorgeous, isn't it? But again, that's coming in another video. And again, more signs of autumn. Look at that. Can't believe it. Got plenty of fruit anyway. But again, that's coming in Sunday's video. Right. Right, this is the fence, and that's where the screws are, the bit you can see there. So I need to get in the drill. Right, I think they only held them in with one screw, so I'm just having to sit down for a minute before I go and get stuck into those fence posts, because it's a bit warm. I just wanted to have a word really as well about my garden. As you know, I do a lot of frugal living. I tend not to throw anything away, and everything in my garden has a use and has a purpose. Now, I do get comments on my videos that my garden's a mess. Yes, it does get untidy because I start jobs and don't get them finished because of the weather. And as you know, we've had 8 months of rain, and it's not been easy getting out in the garden, getting the winter jobs done and keeping on top of the garden, because my garden goes like Battle of the Somme when we get rain. And to have 8 months of rain, sometimes it's just been like a river coming down the garden, and it's been impossible to get in, even to get up to my chickens. So tidying the garden has been the last thing on my mind. I've also, as I said at the beginning of the video, had an awful lot of health challenges. And I don't want to make excuses, but my garden has a lot of things in it, and there's a lot of projects. As you know, I'm a can-do, make-do and mend kind of girl, and I don't throw anything away until I absolutely know that it has no use. And even then, I either try to swap it for something that is going to be useful, or it goes to the recycling centre in my nearest town. Now, to the viewer who commented, the reason you have rats is because you have so much rubbish. That's wrong. The reason I had rats is because of this place behind me here, where they do beehives. They bring the hives, they have honey in, they have wax in, and the rats come and they feed on it, and they nest over there under the big massive tin is behind me. Where are we? No, I can't get it in the frame. Yeah, the big massive tin shed that is behind me does have a big hollow underneath it, and they do nest under there. So they weren't nesting in my garden, they weren't coming in for food, they weren't coming in because of the rubbish. What they were coming in for was because they were over there anyway, and they were just coming investigating my garden. Yeah. So it wasn't because of the rubbish, and to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff in my garden isn't rubbish, it has a purpose. I have a lot of tin around the place because I'm going to use it on the tool shed to do the tool shed roof, and eventually we're going to build some wood storage, and it's going to make a roof for the top of that as well. The plastic corrugated sheet that was in here, that's now gone onto the tool shed and has been used for that. I've also got some perspex left that I'm also going to put on the side of the tool shed to keep out the weather. So the tool shed is going to be completely revamped. I've got rid of all those wooden boxes that were in my polytunnel. I've taken them all over to the field, and they're going to be burnt in the bonfire. And basically all the tree branches that you see lying around the place are for building structures in my garden. So there is not a lot of rubbish around the place. There is rubbish around the place. It's a garden. It's a working garden. That's what happens. When you have food growing in your garden, you're not immune from having rats. You will have rats. You will have rats if you've got an allotment. Check your compost bin. I'm sure you've got holes. You will have rats if you've got a vegetable garden. Check your ground, the soil. You will have holes round by where you're growing stuff. You won't see the rats. They're nocturnal. They come out at night. They only come out in the daytime if they're hunting for food. And you never live more than 1 metre away from a rat. So even if you think you don't have rats, you do. There'll be rats around. My local town has quite a lot of rats. You're just not immune from them. Whether you live in the countryside, whether you live in the city, there will always be rats. You have to just make sure that there's nowhere for them to nest. And unfortunately, because of the rain, I wasn't able to get on top of the winter garden, getting it cleared for the spring. And they did find places where they could shelter from the weather. So that's all been sorted out now. The back of the chickens is sorted, the garden's tidy, and everything is now hunky-dory and back to normal. So I just thought I'd put that disclaimer in there. If you don't like how messy my garden is, you don't have to watch my videos. You can always toddle on and go somewhere else. And we do have a lovely community here where people are very appreciative of my videos, and I enjoy producing them for you. So you're not going to frighten me off here. You're not going to frighten me off. I'm going to keep on making my videos. I did get a bit downhearted about it, but you know, it's my garden. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Sorry, that's a bit harsh, but that's just the way I feel about it today. I'm back on form. I'm back on top form today. So if you don't like my garden and you don't like my videos, don't watch. Simple as. So I'm going to go and get my drill. I'm going to go and get back on with my fence, and I'll take you around the back of the chickens and show you what I'm going to do in putting it up. So see you in a minute. I don't think this side was held in at all. No, it wasn't. Right, so that's one done. Pulling down the hill. Right. Okay. Ah, nettles. Now this is amongst all my roses and everything, so got to be careful. A lot of bramble here. There's a lot of bramble. And again, that was only held in with one screw, so it's a good job we didn't have any strong winds. Now, I'm going to get this one out. Okay. Look. These are the fences. Got one there, another one here, another one here, and another one there. Now, these are beautiful fences. As I say, they're Victorian, maybe sort of 1900s-ish. These are the spikes that go in the ground. Now, I don't think I'm going to get them back in the ground, so I may do this piece upside down just to show off this beautiful spike, because you wouldn't see it ordinarily. I mean, look at the twist on that. Isn't that beautiful the way that's been made? It's been made by the blacksmith, and maybe the estate at one time had their own blacksmith, but look at this, absolutely gorgeous. So I've got two full spikes here, and then this one has been snapped, so that might go back upside down, and all the others don't have any arms, so it's just this one. Oh, and this one here as well. So maybe I'll leave this one and the other one this way up, and then we can see this beautiful detail here. I think that would be beautiful. So there are screw holes on the on one side, on each side, and that may pose a problem for screwing it in, but we will have to see. These ones have got two screw holes, so maybe there's two screw holes on the others, but we'll see. We'll have a look. Oh, I think that one's simply because one of these poles is snapped. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So the next thing we need to do is get them down the other end of the garden, which is very heavy, so I'll do that off camera. But I want to show you the fence posts. Around my tree here, I always store my fence posts upright, simply because it helps them to stay dry. They're not on the ground soaking up all the moisture, and they're much easier to knock into the ground when they are like that. This is the wood shavings that I get from next door, and this is what I put on my soil to increase my soil levels. It does rot down, give me beautiful soil, so that's that. But these here are the fence posts, and I scavenge these out of the field off the farmer, and as you can see, there's nothing wrong with them for my garden. They're not very good for keeping a bull in the field, but for my garden they're ideal. So I need about 7 or 8, I think. I've got some in the other garden, in the veg garden, but these ones are going to work perfectly. Some of them are a bit rotted, but yeah, they always come in handy, so I always manage to collect them. When he renews the fence posts in the field, I go and help myself to the good ones. So that's what we're going to use to attach the fence. So I'm going to go and knock that in. I mean, have you seen this beautiful gate post I got? I've no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I have put some under my new bench in my pergola, which I'll just show you. Not part of this video, but there you go. And have you seen the lovely detail on the bottom? Look at that beautiful detail there where it's all curved. Isn't that lovely? Right. So I've got 10 fence posts. I've got 8 here, and I've got 2 over there. Now, if I'd have bought these are about £7 each at the moment in the farm shop. So if we do the maths, that's a saving of £70 just from going and doing a little bit of scrounging, taking my car and loading them in the car, and bringing them to my garden. So that's saved me £70. Very pleased, very happy. And it's made that pile there an awful lot thinner. So I do have more fence posts in the veg garden, which I'm going to be using for building my veg beds. But these are perfect for the job that I've got in hand at the moment. And I'm just going to walk them round and see how many I need. It depends on the fence, really. I can put 5 fence panels up with the posts that I've got. And maybe 6, maybe attach one to the woodshed, because it'll be secure enough, it'll work, but maybe I can attach an old fence post without hammering it into the ground and then screw that on. I think that will work perfectly. Excuse the noise in the background, it's the farmer. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to walk the fence post round, I'm going to walk these round, I'm going to get my tools together, and then we'll get stuck in to doing the fence. Okay, so I'm having a break with Stripe, and having a break from doing the heavy work on the fence. So I thought what I'd do is, I've been drying some herbs. I want to start getting them into jars because they are dry now. Now, I've done some, you know that sticky weed? I've done some of that because that's good for the lymph glands. So I'm going to make tea with that. I've got some wild raspberry leaves, so I'm going to do that. I've also got some mint, but the mint's not quite dry yet, so that needs to go back because you can still see green. Some of it has. It smells delicious, but yeah, that still needs to go up and be hung up to dry a bit longer. So I've also been reading in my foraging book, and I believe you can dry astilbe leaves and goat's beard leaves. So that's what I've been doing. I've been drying them. So they're near enough ready now to be ground up and popped into jars. And I believe you can use it like a green tea or a black tea. So I've been harvesting it off the goat's beard. Is it goat's beard? The one with the big white frondly flowers on that all the bees and everything love, that I put in my video about a week or so ago. Yeah, so that's what these are. And during the war, that was what you were encouraged to do. You were encouraged to forage, you were encouraged to try and get free food if you could, to try and find things for free, to take the pressure off the food supply. So I'm doing my bit. I've gone around my garden to see what I can forage. There's still a lot more I can forage. I'm going to do my herbs, but I've just been so busy I haven't had time. But I've got 3 jars, so that's what I'm going to do now. Need to entertain my puppy, and we're going to do it while we entertain the puppy and get this job done. Good boy, drop it. Excuse me a sec. Right, so this is the astilbe when it's dry. As I say, apparently you can use it as a green tea or a black tea. I've got loads of that, so that's going to go in the bigger jar. And all you want to do is just scrape the leaves off the stem. So if I find you a stem, you just scrape the leaves off like that and put those leaves in the jar. Now this will keep me going through the winter. I'm going to do a few jars of this because I've got loads of it. And I've gone off green tea and Earl Grey. So this will be a nice alternative. And it'll be really, really cheap. It'll cost me nothing. So I bought a new book. I showed you it in my last video of things you can forage in the garden. So I'm just working my way through that book really to see what I can forage. What I can do is once I've got enough, I can pop it through the blender and grind it up. But the blender's wet at the moment, so I don't want to do that. But a little goes a long way, and it means I can sit with Stripe and keep an eye on him while I'm doing this job. What are you doing with that? That's mine. Hair bobble. Do you know, I'm constantly fishing things out of his mouth. So these are dried out nicely. They've only been on the table. And you don't want the stems. All you want really is the leaves. Some of these green ones are going to have to go back and be dried out again. But do you know, I've got that much of it. It doesn't really matter. So Stripe's a bit hot. It's grinding up nice. So Stripe's going to be up for another half an hour, and then I'm going to go and finish off the job up the back with the fence. It's quite a hot day, so I don't want to do too much in one go. So it'll be in the next video. I'll show you how I'm getting on. But I think that's it for me for today. I'm going to go and get on, sort this lot out. I'll show you the jars in the next video, and I might go round the garden again and go and pick my herbs as well, and I'll show you them in the next video, because now, while the weather's so dry, is an optimum time to get them dry without having to use a dehydrator that costs a lot of money. So I did use the dehydrator last year, but that was costing a lot. Now I don't know if you can use the flower heads, so I'm just going to do the leaves this year until I do a bit more research into whether I can use the rest of it. So trying not to get it in cup coffee, but I'll seal these into airtight jars, so I'll show you that in the next video. And then these can go into storage in the garage. I'm going to build some new shelves in the garage as well, so that's going to come up in a video, and get my food storage area sorted out. So yeah, there's a lot going on around here now. I've got my energy levels back. Stripe's a bit older now, so he's a lot easier to manage. So yeah, if I find any more foraging things to talk about in the next video, I'll show you them in the next video. So I think that's it from me for today. Stripe needs my attention before he goes back to bed, and it's getting very warm and very hot. I want to get this done and then go and get the fence finished. So if you have enjoyed my video, do like and subscribe. Do hit that notification bell. That'll tell you when I upload new videos. And I will see you in the next video on Sunday, where you'll be having a look around the garden as a late July garden tour into August. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.